a frenzy. The blends be all the right cred, meaning credential. Best of both worlds when we rockin' over pearls in the instrumental. Are you ready? Set. Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady. To the letter right. Turn it up. We giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? When it was time to...
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the San Francisco 49ers. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go, here we go. 180! 12, fellas, here we go. Hey, gun. Check 26, check 26.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, second and 15. Garoppolo now. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. On this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 13 yards there and a Niner first. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 46. Now it's Breida. Eddie Jackson with a tackle.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Garoppolo after the fake give to Breida. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line.
But nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them.
Throwing to start the drive. Eason. Oh, he's going to air. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. N'Keal Harry, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting,
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller, and he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
70, Indy.
On first down, it's Vaughn. And down inside the 15 he goes. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up first and goal.
Check.
Check it back. Check it back.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up second and goal. Keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
They'll try to run with Carson. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
The San Francisco defense trying to hold tough again. This is third and goal. He'll try to run this one in. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Chris Carson. His 5th touchdown now on the year. As the Bears push further out in front. Able to punch it in on third down. Makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
You got tight. You got tight right there. Where's 52? Watch 52.
Recon, 132 fighter. We want it. Come to my world. Shoot.
52's the mic. Push him back.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's into the clear. 20. And he takes this thing way down into Chicago territory. A big play there for the Niners. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for first and 10. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play.
That's the end of the first quarter.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Now Garoppolo. That one complete to Hill. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
Partner, they weren't quite in the red zone, but things are starting to get condensed on the field. Throwing the corner route there, really nice play because it gives them a little bit of room to complete it.
Here we go, here we go. Wait, 80!
Number 53, Mike 53. Let's set a target.
Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Not your conventional play call, but that's okay. You probe the defense a little bit with some of everything in your playbook. That way they have to account for everything as the game moves on.
So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
Let's go. Do it.
At their own 25-yard line.
Ready?
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. And they give this time to the tailback. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
Ready, ready. 18 Gator. 59. Mike to 59. Here we go, G. Let's go.
Now it's Carson. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. This is Carson. He'll be taken down well behind the line, and I think he might have just given those 4 yards right back. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Hey, Steve 6. Steve 6.
On 3rd down, Eason. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 39.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
14 yards into Chicago, 1st down. Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
It's the Pro Bowler Chandler Jones who makes the tackle.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Here's 2nd and 8. Throw left side complete. That's Jordan. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Number 89. A 3-yard gain on the play. Brings up 3rd down.
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. From the gun, Eason got his man. That's Harry. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
As the field starts to get condensed, the defense likes that a lot because now you don't have as much space to cover, but a well-run corner route there.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year as the Bears push further out in front.
The touchdown was scored by the runner, but the offensive line, they feel like it's theirs. They blocked that one up perfectly, allowed him easy access to the end zone.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum.
Hey, Foxtrot, Foxtrot.
They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as he'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. That last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long. On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. Completes it to Samuel. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 18 yards, 1st down. Now Garoppolo lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. Past the 20. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game. Everything
that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Niners take over 1st and 10.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Garoppolo. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches.
Hey, alert 3, alert 3.
On play action, now Garoppolo. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From midfield, here's Garoppolo. It's Hill, complete. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Garoppolo looks to throw once more. Open man is Hill. He's got it. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
21. Here we go.
Garoppolo going to try and throw on 3rd. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 33. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half.
Let's go.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And the 39-year-old veteran puts it right through. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. This is taken at his 4. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
At their own 31-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 16 yards is the pickup there on a 1st down for Chicago. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Vaughn. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd down now, it's Vaughn. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves them with a 3rd down and 8.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. To throw on 3rd down. Eason got a man open. That's Harry. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and goal. They run again with Carson, and that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make it 3rd and goal.
Ready, break. 61, matchbox, lights. Bang, 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 bang. Be grip.
They'll try the left side. Vaughn. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. Now for the field goal try, here's Eddie Pinheiro. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And that'll extend this lead now up to 25. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Here we go.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
I got this.
On play action, it's Garoppolo. Over the middle to Kittle, complete. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Garoppolo to his tight end Kittle for a Niner first down.
Here we go.
Garoppolo, 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Here we go.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Go ahead.
Kill. Turn it up. Kill.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working out it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers. Garoppolo on first down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
2nd and 13. Yeah, he'll find Hall. A big play there on the catch and run. 91 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown,
you're
without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
They come up in an offset eye. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Here's Carson. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Chris Carson with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by one more. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This fielded at the 2. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And 3 interceptions in this game. I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is, he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
This is Breedon. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting third down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
At the 47-yard line.
Garoppolo now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Garoppolo looks to throw. Man open, it's Goodwin. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
And he's got it. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A 20-yard touchdown. And the 49ers get a score closer.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
25 yards there on the catch and run. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Here's a first down throw that's complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. That one looks like he'll throw here. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 23. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Then he'll give it here to his running back. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the